We're going to do it live. Live. Well, welcome. Welcome, come one, come all, to the greatest show on earth. Welcome to another edition of Wanderings of Don, my show, on this, the 16th day of March, the year of our Lord 2023. Good evening. Welcome. Oh, let me turn down the Thought of Cthulhu. He's a little loud right now. Okay. Welcome to a late night edition of this show. Well, no, it's always a late night. What the hell am I talking about? Probably a short and a little bit of abbreviated. I'll see. I always say it's going to be abbreviated, then it goes on for another, for 35 minutes. But we're back. I have to upload a couple of other episodes that I taped offline. There's at least one or two, I forget. But welcome to this Friday. I'm sorry, geez, tomorrow's Friday, Thursday episode of this show. I have several episodes, as I said, I have to update and bring online that I haven't gotten a chance to do. There's also a bunch of streams that I have to get onto YouTube as well that I may be going over to Rumble. I haven't done Rumble yet. I haven't done a live stream on Rumble, and I haven't added anything to my channel. So I may be moving stuff over there. Rumble is a seriously good site. Doesn't have some of the bullshit that you find on this site, but I do. That's something I'll be working on in the future. I don't know exactly when, but just a couple of updates. Obviously, I don't know how much people enjoy the March Madness. I know it's that, it's sports ball, it's bread and circuses. I enjoy watching, whether I'm really paying attention or not. College basketball. I'm not an NBA guy. I do, and I'm not actually. I used to be into the NFL, but that got a little too. I mean, it's just some people are just really hardcore into it, and there's been a lot of political bullshit in that as well. But there's something about college with the rawness of the talent that you have in college, and there's so much more things that can happen, storylines, schools that can upset other schools and teams that upset other teams, and there's so much more. I guess it's part of it is that it's not, even though there's tons of money made with it, players not being, at least for the moment, and I think that's obviously probably gonna change, but and maybe once players start making money, which of course they're worth it, they make enough money off these kids, but it's probably good. The nature of it eventually may change, but it's still for what it is, and it's a pureness of football and basketball with these young kids in these schools playing, and there's so many of them that there's just something about it, and there's something that's enjoyable. Of course, hockey's probably my favorite sport. I also enjoy baseball. I'm a Yankee fan, a New Jersey Devil fan, and I'll probably talk about those things as more and more come on. But I am very excited and very much into March Madness. particularly the first weekend, particularly, especially the first 2 days, when there's just a million games on and you're just flipping channels, going between, 4 different channels, uh, trying to seeing any of the games that are close, any games that where you have an upset in the making. It's just fun stuff to watch. Um, and I don't know how long I've been into it. I haven't been into it like a terribly long time, but maybe 10 years. I don't know. Watching it or more. It has to be more than 10 years by now. It's probably more than 10 years. Yeah, 15 years. So I haven't been like a lifelong fan or anything like that, but it's just something to watch. So it's very fun. You already had some fairly sizable upsets today. The biggest being Arizona going down to Princeton, just unbelievable. Yeah, that kind of. I did one bracket. I used to do a bunch of brackets and add them, send them into different um, for different bracket challenges or whatever, and try to win money or just for bragging sake or whatever. I do like one now. But I do get a blank bracket in the newspaper. Like the New York Post has a perfect size bracket, blank bracket. It comes out on Monday after Selection Sunday, and it's just good to fill in. A nice size, good to fill in the stuff. But I really do enjoy it. So if that's on, and I'm gonna be doing that all weekend. The second weekend's good too. I mean, the whole tournament's good. But once you get down to once you get down to like the Elite Eight and Final Four and stuff like that. It's just a few games, Um, you're usually going to have some big teams that are left, but if you get one of those where you get some weird, you get a nice Cinderella story or something going, it's always nice to watch. It's fun stuff. So we'll see what happens. I really don't know who's going to win this year. And I never thought I was going to be doing this. I'm actually because I did enjoy um, Duke under Coach Krzyzewski. I didn't think at all I was going to be picking them at all this year. That's who basically because of how they've gotten off on the last month and a half. I mean, how good they've gelled. I mean, they're very, inconsistent early. And of course, you look at that, these two story teams now who have lost legendary coaches, them and of course, UNC, who didn't even make the tournament this year. They were AP preseason number one. They were number one early in the season, and and I like Hubert Davis a lot. I used to watch him on ESPN back when I used to watch ESPN's analysis, and so they're too. They talk about too much bullshit now, anyway. But um, I wish him the best and everything. We'll see how Kansas does. I don't. I can't see now. Maybe I'm crazy. I'd have to talk to my. I'd have to ask my dad, who's a cardiologist. But I can't see rushing Bill Self back after having 2 stents put in. That seems to be crazy. I don't care. I know he's trying to go for now a back-to-back title, but and he has a a 1 seed in Kansas, who I didn't think really should have been a 1 seed. I wasn't crazy about him. I thought 2 seed was better, but I knew everybody was pushing for them to be 1 seed. I can understand why they gave it to him, but I personally wouldn't have done it. But anyway, enough of the tournament. I'll be watching that the rest of the weekend. You probably hear my thoughts here and there as some crazy losses. I mean, I've taken several losses. Who hasn't in the bracket? But in pretty good, pretty decent shape so far. I did. Oh, so anyway, the friggin' if you saw my um my description for today's show says something about Diablo 4. Diablo 4. I have the open beta is about to start. It's going to start this weekend, tomorrow, actually. And for those that pre-ordered it, you have an early weekends this weekend, 17th through 19th, 17th, 18th, 19th. The full public access open beta is next weekend, the 24th through the 26th, something like that. So if you pre-ordered it, I think if you pre-order up through Saturday, I think you could still get in this. This it's not a private beta, but it's a pre-orders only open beta. So it's not a closed, beta by invitation. But as long as you get a pre-order, I think you can get the pre-order even on up to or even into the 18th. I think you can still get on. Oh, come on! You can still get into the beta if you would like. I understand that it's not the most. Oh, man, I got a bunch of emails. Anyway, it's not the most beloved franchise anymore. I did enjoy 3. I platinumed 3 on the PS4. I did enjoy. I still do enjoy 3. I got the collector's editions for both the original release of 3, first came out on the PC, as well as the expansion, Reaper of Souls on the PS3, the PC rather. Those big boxes. I was there for the whole auction house and the early parts of it, and I can understand the absolute problems. I'm looking forward to 4. I have it pre-ordered for PS5. Whether it's unbelievable, I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. I believe there was a closed beta, so I'm looking forward to it. Whether it's brings the series back to a Diablo 2 style, Diablo 2 greatness level. I don't know. If I had to guess, probably not. They're probably gonna. I understand the purest issues that people have with the newer, more modernized Diablo 3. I think they did changes that they did do to Diablo 3, made it a better game from what it was when it first launched. I never was one that truly hated it, because I wasn't, even though I had Diablo 3, I wasn't hardcore into it when it first came out. So I wasn't directly, I don't want to say directly affected, but I didn't have much exposure to a lot of the early Diablo 3 problems. But I'm looking forward to it. Now, you're going to talk about the whole Activision Blizzard thing. Hey, that's on their end. The employees know what's going on with that shit. I'm not crazy about them trying to be bought by Microsoft at all. The internal issues they have, that's between them and their employees there. I'm not going to claim to know and take sides. I understand it's easy to take sides, saying, oh, these people have been, they have a very toxic, culture there for sexual harassment or whatever. I don't know that. I wasn't there. It can maybe documented. That's fine. I'm worried about the game itself. And some people say, well, you gotta, well, if that's something that affects you, great. It's like going out with the whole thing with Hogwarts Legacy. I don't even like anything to do with Harry Potter. When I saw it, I said, oh, that looks like a pretty good game. I still don't want to get it. And then I saw all the flack that J.K. Rowling, who's somebody I don't agree with on a lot of stuff, but the one thing I did was what she got with her whole thing with the transgender movement garbage. I said, she stuck up for this. She stuck up for women. You know what? I'm going to buy it on. I'm going to go out all in and get it. That's what I did. Now I still haven't played it. I still got to play. I did. Put that's another 80 gig game. That's supposed to be really, really good. It looked really good. So look, I can't sit here and know, what went on there. I'm sure they got issues, but that's what you got HR. That's what you got issues that you take care of in your thing. I don't think that buying a Diablo game means that you're supporting some kind of garbage. Now, unless they put it on their site and they say, you know what, we're a company that's about these kind of moral principles. Don't buy our games. Oh, if you're gonna play games like that, then but this internal, office related issues where you got employees. I mean, who the hell are you supposed to know who's doing what? I let them deal with that stuff. If more stuff comes to light, fine, we'll take it as is. I'm looking forward to Diablo. I want to play their game. I've always been a lifelong Diablo fan. I love Diablo action RPGs, looters. So I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow it starts. It starts at 9, I think Pacific, so noontime. I got it already downloaded. It takes on the PlayStation 5 77 gigs. Now I'm saying, what the hell do they have 77 gigs worth of shit in the demo for the beta? And it's most likely, from what I heard, half the gigs are high-res textures. Now, if you look back, actually, I think like Diablo 3 on the PS4 version of Diablo 3, I think it's like 45, 50 gigs, something like that. So they do use a lot of, I don't know whether it's compression issues that they're not good at or what it is. I'm just very surprised. But for a beta, I mean, what are they giving us? I know it's a pretty big beta, but I'm sure they're not giving us the whole story mode or anything like that. I mean, this seems like when you get a demo and they force you to like download the entire full game, but they lock you to a certain time. Like Harvestella, I think was a big chunk of it. It might have been the full game. I'm just pulling that out of my head because it was one of the last games that I had like a time expiry, time limit on, and it seemed to me like they gave you that, like they made you download the full game. You can go as far as you could in the specified time limit. I mean, that's what this feels like, but I don't think there's no time limit, and I think the character, your progression, and everything carries over to next weekend when it's the full open beta. So I'm gonna be looking forward to it. I'm gonna play it. I'm probably gonna stream it too. I'm thinking right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna go barbarian, and then I don't know how many character slots they give you during the beta. There's 5 classes, and I think that's the 5 classes that's shipping with the game. So I'm sure they'll have additional classes. Unfortunately, my paladin/crusader is not part of the initial thing. I think it's I want to say, I think it's like barbarian rogue, which I think I'm going to do barbarian and a rogue. Barbarian rogue might be druid, then like a sorcerer wizard or something, and then necro. I might do necros for fun in the third one. As well. Druid, the return of a druid, because a druid I don't think has been in it since the second one. They didn't have it in the third one, so that'll be fun to see. So I can't wait. I'm looking be trying to do as least as I can tomorrow. Besides that, and oh yeah, you see, Um, and besides being not only St. Patrick's Day, but also my birthday. So see what happens. Um, Additionally, what else do I want to? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Penn State. Um, Lastly, I finally returned to playing Trails in the Sky SC. I got through, for the most part, chapter 3. I'm in between chapter 3 and 4 now. I finished off. Well, I did do earlier today. I started playing it again, and I did. Um, I got through finding Rene, and then going to. I don't know why I didn't. I'm so dumb. Um, and then I played. I decided to play it tonight, even though the basketball was on. I was like, you know what? Let's check out what these. It's the end of chapter 3. You have a 3-part boss battle where you have to fight a bunch of spec ops soldiers. Then you have to fight this giant tank, the Urel, the Uriel, Uriel, Ure. I can't say it. It's French. The giant tank, and then you got to fight Captain Almathea. She comes back, um, and a couple of spec ops thugs with her, and it's boom, boom, boom. No healing in between. So it's kind of a pain. It can be a pain in the butt, especially because the tank itself, it's a single target, has a lot of HP, and it's got very high physical defense, and its magic defense is pretty high too. It's going to take. It's just a long, drawn out battle of attrition. You do actually get um, to play with what's her name, uh, Captain Schwartz, Julia Schwartz, uh, in the fight. So it's a pretty nice fight. I was able to go through that stuff today. I checked. I got all the BP. I got all the bonus BP. So I was holding off on. There was 2 save slots. I had 2 different sections before we went to Herbe Villa and started the whole thing with Rene, and that's like halfway or less through the chapter. So if I didn't get those BP and I wanted to get them, I would have had to have gone through the entire chapter. All like I would have to have done at least over half the chapter again, and it just would have taken forever. So luckily, I don't have to worry about that. I got all the BP. I have 146 right now. I should be at 150. The additional 4 that I'm going to get is from. Um, there's one more monster extermination that happens between. After you beat the boss and before you go on to the next area, which is actually Bose, and I thought it was going to be Bose. So, um, yeah, it'll be interesting to yeah, once I get that. But the great thing is, I did level up to what was it, Bracer rank D. So my I got my what do you call it? Haze finally. Oh man, it's so nice to have the haze quartz now. So now, what I'm guessing, maybe because they did change some of the enemy behavior, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some enemies that are just um, indifferent to haze quartz. That would be fascinating. But I found out Renee is actually she's part of she's part of the Ouroboros, which I actually didn't expect. Amazingly enough, I should have, because by now there's a pattern. There's been an enforcer in each chapter testing out um, one of the black ordnance. But anyway, we'll get to that tomorrow. So anyway, I am going to finish this up. So thank you for watching. Have a good night. May the Lord be with you, and I will see you next time.